Hello everyone, my name is Timothy Mitchell. I am here with LexJet and I'm also here at the Canon booth to discuss, introduce, talk about the new Canon Colorado M-Series. And I have with me here Patrick Donigain.
Yep.
Patrick Donigain?
Absolutely.
I want to make sure I spelled
You got it right.
properly.
You got it right.
It's spelled a little differently.
Yes, it is.
Patrick, what is your title at Canon?
So I'm Senior Manager of Marketing for the Roll-to-Roll products.
Okay, Senior Manager of Marketing.
Yes.
All right, so I'm here to ask you, the expert, the new things, the new properties, the new features of this new Canon Colorado, which is a big hit at the show. I mean, there's a lot of people interested in this product.
Absolutely. We've been crazy busy all day.
Yes, you
yesterday,
have. So we came here early
yes,
because
absolutely.
I can't. As soon as the show opens, it's a throng of people.
Yes. So Colorado M-Series.
M-Series.
The M basically stands for modularity. So
Okay.
it's all about being able to grow with the customer's business. So in the past, we had like an entry point that was called the 1630 Colorado, and we had a 1650. And we had multiple customers that started with that 1630 that grew out of that. Their business got too big, too large, and they needed to go to 1650. Unfortunately, the only way to do that was basically a forklift upgrade. So now the Colorado M-Series takes care of that problem that we encountered. It basically allows somebody to get into a single roll gloss printer for a relatively low entry point, and then later on throughout basically the next couple of years, they can add features onto it.
Okay, so the way that the modularity works is you can get a baseline printer, or you can get a fully decked out printer, or you can get a printer anywhere in between based upon the core features that you need, not the features that, with all due respect, marketing wants to give you.
Absolutely. So we have several different models. It starts with the M3 base, it goes up to the M3W, which adds white. We have Pro Series, which basically add licenses for Flex Finish Plus, which is the ability to print gloss and matte at the same time. We have licenses to add a second roll, and speed licenses. So there's all kinds of licenses that you can add basically as your business grows, as your needs grow.
So for example, you have some of the best double-sided printing features in the business, but maybe I need to buy it to do vehicle wraps and I don't have a double-sided job lined up on the horizon. So I think, well, I can save a little money, outfit the printer very simply to get my job done, and then a year from now, if a big double-sided job comes in, now I can add that feature to the printer.
And actually that is actually a license upgrade.
Okay.
So basically doesn't need a service tech to come out. Basically it's a license upgrade, goes over the air and upgrades your machine. Now you can do double-sided.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much for explaining the M part.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. So there's the M3 is sort of your base, and then the M5, and then there's the term Pro, and those are just indicating different tiers.
Yes, absolutely. So the M5 adds basically the next tier in speed, basically.
Okay.
It adds speed to the product.
Fantastic. All right, now I'm going to get to the meat of this, because I know everyone really wants to know the white ink. Okay, you have new white ink.
Yes.
It's from all the prints I've seen, the quality is exceptional, the opacity. Tell me a little bit about the white ink, and particularly, here's something a pain point I've always had. White ink for me is, oh my God, I'm going to have all kinds of troubles. It's going to clog, it's going to fail suspension, I'm going to be struggling and suffering. And whenever I need to run the white ink, which isn't every day, I'm going to spend all day long trying to get the white ink running. So drama, you guys have like a thing, what do you call it, hassle-free?
Hassle-free or white ink without worry.
Okay.
Couple different terms we use for it.
Marketing, yes.
Yes. But basically, if you look at UV and gel, the name of the ink that we use, basically UV gel, UV doesn't evaporate, so you don't have to worry about the inks drying up as much as you would something that's water-based or solvent-based. And then you have, on top of that, you have this gel, which is unique to us. You're not gonna have a solvent gel or a resin gel coming out anytime soon. That gel helps suspend those particles, white ink particles, in a material, so it's naturally already kind of attuned to basically white ink.
So you have a chemistry advantage with the UV gel for the white ink suspension.
Absolutely. And then on top of that, there's a lot of features with the machine itself mechanically. When you put the ink into the machine, it actually goes into a tank, basically. And that tank has got an agitator in it. We have recirculation between the heads, and in the heads themselves, we have what we call a little boiler. That takes the gel into a more liquid state, and basically creates a convective current in the head itself, which again keeps that head ink mixing. So with all those things in play, I'll give you an example. We installed our first M-Series in our showroom about a month ago. And basically we've been running it pretty much every day, 24 hours a day, doing samples, getting testing, all that kind of stuff. We haven't cleaned the heads yet. We haven't shaken any bags. We haven't had to pull the heads out. We haven't had to do any of that stuff. So that's the kind of white ink without worry we're talking about.
Good. That's the kind of white ink I want. I
Yes.
want white ink that runs exactly like CMYK.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I wanted to
That's
do.
the other thing we say all the time. It's like any other color.
Like
it's
any
ready.
other
It's
color.
ready for you when you're ready to print. It's ready to print.
Okay. All right. Well, that's reassuring. Let me get to the second objection I have with white ink. In my opinion, and this is true of all white ink printers, no matter how much money you spend, they're all too slow. Okay, they're all slow. Like the
Sure.
nature of white ink
Sure.
is slow as a subcategory when you're running white. And the more layers you're doing, 3-layer, 5-layer, the slower it gets. Because you have to do either partition or you have to create multiple print heads. There's always going to be drawbacks with white ink.
Sure.
Looking at your quality and the speed associated with it, with the opacity you're running, it would appear that you guys actually have the fastest slow white ink printer in the market.
Yeah, so absolutely. So from the 64-inch space, you're typically going to find that our ink production speeds at same opacities, it's going to be 2 to 3 times faster than what's out there in the market right now.
Okay.
So somebody's going to see, if they upgrade to the Colorado M-Series, they're going to see very quickly that their productivity is much higher. So all those issues with, hey, should I gang the jobs up? I got to take those heads out and put them back in. Should I gang those jobs up on a certain day? Or that customer needs it next day? Those issues kind of go away.
Got it.
With the Colorado, you can do that. You can say yes.
All right, so you have drama-free white, so when you need to run it, you can just go up and run it.
Yep.
And then secondly, you guys have, I mean, for a 1.6 meter, it seems like you guys have some real speed on this thing.
Yes.
You know, when it's not running white, it's very fast. When it's running white, it's fast within the white subcategory.
Yeah, relative to even some 3.2 meters, we're actually
Right.
closer to 3.2 meter speeds on white than we are to the 64-inch or 1.6 meter
Sure,
space.
exactly. And you know, a lot of the white that I'm not running rolls bigger than 60 inches.
Yeah.
You know, most of my white ink jobs are 60 inches and smaller, so a 3.2 meter doesn't make sense for efficiency unless I'm running dual roll all the time.
Yeah.
Dual roll, you know, you have to have a true differential, you need
Sure.
to take the time to load it. There's a lot invested in getting dual roll, and usually I just need a single roll. Why then would I have a 3.2 meter printer? It's inefficient. You're not getting the speeds that you would hope to get at all. You're getting half the speed.
Yeah.
A true 1.6 here with speed on it, you can get a lot of white ink out the door.
Absolutely. And the nice thing about the Colorado is the head only traverses over the print area.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to go the full width of the carriage, which means that compared to other spec sheet speeds,
Yes.
we actually have a little bit of an advantage because we actually only go over the print area.
You know, you in marketing, you people invented spec sheet speeds. You know, that was your doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. So another thing that I saw in some of your literature was some very eye-popping numbers about ink savings.
Yes.
Okay, I mean true ink savings. I mean remarkable ink savings. Can you give me a little background on that? Give me a little understanding of that.
Yeah, so the Colorado and the UV gel in general is very efficient on ink. It's very efficient, typically compared to the competition. We're using, up to half the ink that the competition is using in it. And that carries through to the white ink. So the white ink, we're using in some cases, up to 70% less ink than somebody might be using today.
Can you run that number through me again? That one more time, up to
70%.
70%.
Yeah. So from a running cost perspective, we're probably you're going to see a significant reduction in running costs, basically.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, huge reductions in running costs
absolutely.
from what you're telling me.
Absolutely.
Well, that would seem to be in accord also with drama-free white, because a lot of the white when I'm running is purge, 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 print, purge, purge. Nope. Okay, so I'm just pouring white out the door. And then I finally get it running, and I still have no hope that I might not have air and it's going to work its way through the line. And what you guys are saying is, look, your chemistry for UV gel is superior and allows you to use very little white to get the opacity you need without the waste, because of your superiority in chemistry as well as your circulation systems.
Absolutely. The UV gel itself doesn't have coalescence, doesn't have dot gain. Basically, when it comes out of the head, when it hits the media, it's a gel. It holds its shape, and that allows us to really maintain low ink usage. Basically, we have very good control over the inks themselves.
So with those kinds of differences, if somebody's running a heavy white ink flow, and you look at the cost of their running white versus the cost of a Colorado, I mean, it would seem to me from a return on investment, you could almost justify the cost of the printer based on what you're wasting in white in a year.
Yeah, when we do TCOs, we take that into account, and depending on volumes, that is very well possible that basically they're paying for their lease payment just on the savings alone.
Wow. Cool, very cool. So you have super high quality, you have great opacity, you have drama-free, and you have significant ink savings. I've seen the quality. Can you do 3-layer, 5-layer, 2-layer,
Yep.
all the various layer
all the
options?
different layers, different sides, front and
Okay.
back.
All of that, that's all
is-
included?
Yep, absolutely.
Perfect. So I know 5-layer is slow no matter what you do, but I was looking at your numbers, and your 5-layer actually seems pretty respectable.
Yeah, it's not. It's I've watched other machines print 5-layer.
Yeah, you can watch the dinosaurs die out.
This one is definitely a productive 5-layer that you can realistically use in production.
Okay. So there's some other features too about the printer, from what I understand. There's some print heads have been changed a little bit, recessed differently. Can you tell me a little bit some of the other things on the printer besides the white ink that are new?
Yeah. So the M-Series, again, if they were to go and list out the things they wanted to fix, basically from the Colorado 1615, 1630s, one of the things was the head. We had a great head, really good head life, but they decided to improve that. One of the things they did is they created a more durable nozzle plate on it.
Okay.
So that nozzle plate protects it from basically crashing into media. They also recessed the nozzles a little bit also. So that's going to increase your head life. They doubled the actual nozzles. So we went from 256 to 512 nozzles on it, and a higher firing frequency. So all that stuff adds up to a head that's more durable, and also a head that can run at higher speeds.
Fantastic. That's really cool. Anything else about the printer I should know before we sign out?
It's basically built in that foundation of Colorado. So that low total cost of ownership, the high productivity, the ability, that stability where color is going to be predictable from run to run to run. Those are huge things that's all built on top of. So it's all together, it's the best 64-inch machine in the market today.
I would tend to agree with you. I think you occupy a very unique value for price to speed to quality that there's really nothing else in this 1.6 meter market that's like the Colorado.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time. It's
Thank you.
appreciated. Folks, if you want to see the Colorado for yourself, come to the show here today at ISA, the Sign Expo 2023. There's 2 booths that have the Colorado in it that Canon is sponsoring. They have a fantastic group of people. They know the products really well. And when it comes time to purchase, LexJet is the Colorado experts.